Hello students, this is Professor Shrenik Shah. In this video, we are going to learn a very important concept of chapter current electricity known as Wheatstone network or Wheatstone bridge. So basically, Wheatstone network or Wheatstone bridge is a very simple but very important concept. Here we have four resistors arranged in the form of a square, something like this. Let's name this resistance as P, Q, R, S in cyclic order, and let's name the corners of this as A, B, C, D. So this is the arrangement of four resistors. Further, we connect two ends of this, or two opposite ends I should say, of this square to a battery, key and a rheostat, something like this. A battery, a key and a rheostat, and the remaining two ends, two opposite ends, is connected to a galvanometer, something like this. Now just to remind you, galvanometer is an instrument which measures current in the circuit. So you can say it's something like an ammeter. Okay. Now, here if we try to understand the circuit and apply something called as Kirchhoff's current law and Kirchhoff's voltage law, better known as KCL and KVL. This we have already done in the previous videos. Here let's assume the incoming current from the battery to this circuit is I. Now this current will divide in two branches over here. So let's name them as I1 and I2. So definitely at this junction A, we can apply KCL and say I incoming current is equal to I1 plus I2 outgoing currents. So this is one equation we can write over here. Now further, let's assume that there is a current flowing in the galvanometer from B to D. That is this direction. And let's call the current as IG. So can I say from this incoming current I at junction B, IG goes as an outgoing current. Then the remaining current will go from B to C as I minus IG. Correct? Similarly, at junction D, IG is incoming current, I2 is incoming current. So they both add and go from point D to C in the form of I2 plus IG. And definitely at junction C, I2 plus IG and I minus IG merge to finally form I1 plus I2. This is I1 as I itself. So this is the idea of the current over here. Now if we apply KVL in the loop, say A, B, D, A, in this loop A, B, D, A. Over here we are going to assume that the galvanometer have a resistance G. I repeat, the resistance of galvanometer is G. Okay. So now if we apply KVL to this loop A, B, D, A, let's start from A to B. When we go from A to B, we are going in the direction of current. So as per sign convention, it will be negative I1 P. Yes, P is the resistance. Now from B to D, again we are going in the direction of current. So it will be minus Ig into G. G is the resistance of the galvanometer. Then for this part, D to A, we are going in the opposite direction. So it will be plus I to S. The total would be 0. So this is one of the equation when you apply KVL for loop A, B, D, A. Now let's try the loop B, C, D, B. B, C, D, B. If we apply that, we can say while we going from B to C, we are going in the direction of current. So it will be negative I1 minus Ig into Q. Q is the resistance of this branch. Then while going from C to D, we are going in the opposite direction of the current. So it will be plus I2 plus Ig, the whole into R. R is the resistance of this branch. And last, D to B, we are going again in the opposite direction of current. So it will be plus Ig into G. And that will be total will be 0. So now if you check both the equations, we have got Ig minus Ig in the first equation and plus Ig into G in the second equation. So if we add these two equations, definitely we get rid of this. So let's try that. And so we get minus I1P plus I2S minus I1 minus Ig in the bracket into Q plus I2 plus Ig into R equal to 0. So basically this two part gets cancelled and remaining parts remain in the equation. Now this equation definitely we can use to solve any numerical which is related to Wheatstone network. But wait, there is a special case which we need to concern over here. And that special case is what if I arrange the resistance and the circuit in such a way that no current flows through the galvanometer? I repeat, I arrange the resistance in such a way that no current flows through the galvanometer, which means I am trying to say Ig to be equal to 0. Yes, this is a special case, Ig equal to 0. Now if we apply that over here in this equation, we get minus I1P plus I2S equal to 0, which means I1P is equal to I2S as first equation. And if we apply the same condition in the second loop, it becomes minus I1Q plus I2R equal to 0, because this is going to be 0, this is going to be 0, and this whole thing is going to be 0. So we get I1Q is equal to I2R, and this becomes the second equation. So now if we take the ratio of this two, don't you think over here I1 will get cancelled and I2 will get cancelled? So we are going to have P by Q is equal to S by R, which can be rearranged as P by S equal to Q by R. So if you remember the diagram, this was a diagram of Wheatstone network where we have P, Q, R, S connected in this form. Point B and D is connected by the galvanometer. And I assume that there is no current flowing through the galvanometer, which means point B and point D are at same potential. Okay, and that means with this condition, which is called as balanced Wheatstone network, we have a direct formula over here like this. P by S is equal to Q by R, which means the ratio of the two resistance on one side of the galvanometer is equal to the ratio of the resistance on the other side of the galvanometer. Now definitely this equation can be used for multiple purpose. One of the important purposes in a circuit where we know say 3 resistance out of 4, we can find the fourth one using this special condition. So I hope you understood the entire concept of Wheatstone network as well as the special case, the balanced Wheatstone network. So hope you like it.